In this video, I'm going to show you how to portray a sunny day and an overcast day. And please remember to subscribe. To find the light direction, connect the object to the tip of its shadow, and that indicates that the sun is in the upper left here. So this is direct light because we know where the sun is and we know the direction of the light. With indirect light, like an overcast day, we don't know where the source of light is, nor the direction of the light. When we're looking at the sun rays radiate out, and this is mainly due to one-point perspective, like these railroad tracks, where the vanishing point is the sun. Here in this picture, the sun is in about this position, so the shadows also radiate out. But sunbeams are in fact parallel because the sun is just so far away from the earth. And we see these parallel shadows when we're not looking at the sun. In this case, the sun is over here somewhere, and you can see that all these shadows are parallel. Let's compare these two bowls, one in direct sunlight and one in diffuse window light. The first one has a distinct shadow, whereas the second one has a vague shadow with soft edges. The colors are brighter here than they are over here. And the mood is tranquil, maybe with energy and drama, or alternatively harsh, whereas the mood over here is soft, gentle, or alternatively ominous. So moods can be either positive or negative in each case. On a sunny day, the sky and the lake are a nice deep blue, and the bushes have dark shadows and yellow-green leaves, both indicating form. On an overcast day with indirect diffuse light, the sky and the lake are a light, dull blue-gray, much lighter than with sunlight, and with dull colors compared to this blue over here. But why is the sky so light on an overcast day? It seems counterintuitive. And that's because the sun is behind the clouds, spreading out diffusely, so it lightens them like ceiling lights. You often have to squint when you look up at a light cloud cover because the sun is right behind them. But you don't have to squint when you look at a blue sky because it's away from the sun. And another reason why the sky and the lake look light here is that elements on land look dark, so these dark trees make the lake look even whiter. With direct light, we get a clear light and shaded area and a shadow that's obvious. These are absent with indirect light. And also with direct light, we get a highlight, a clear highlight, which is a reflection of the sun. This is actually a little image of the sun on the apple. And that requires direct light, and it's absent with indirect light. When should we use diffuse light? Well, you have to ask yourself whether the shadow is going to interfere with the subject. So if the subject is delicate with fine details, you probably don't want a shadow. You certainly don't want a shadow when there are reflections, because that would just be confusing. And if there's strong value or color contrasts, again, you don't want a shadow. Diffuse light better shows patterns than direct light, and it's appropriate for high-key images where a dark shadow would interfere with the key, and then also for portraits to avoid harsh shadows. Here are some other situations where we see diffuse light other than the overcast day. We see it when light is filtered through curtains or umbrellas, when the light source is large, like this window, when light is reflected from white, smooth surfaces, and when there are many light sources. To convincingly show a sunny day, you need contrasts of value, color saturation, and temperature. The value contrast should be great enough so it looks like sunlight. I compared the values here to Photoshop scale, where white is 0% black and black is 100% black. Here, the yellow-green grass is about 30% black, whereas the blue-green grass in the shade is about 80% black. So there's a 50-point difference between light and dark. The yellow-green is saturated, while the blue-green is darker and duller. And there's a temperature contrast with the yellow-green being warm and the blue-green being cool. So we have contrasts of value, color saturation, color temperature, and near complements. Yellow and blue are near complements. I photoshopped this first image to make it look like a sunny day over here. And you can see in the first case, you don't know which way the light is coming. Is it coming from the left or the right? Because one side is yellow and one side is orange. But over here on the sunny day, I made the left side the shaded side. So we now have a light area that's light in value with saturated yellow and warm in temperature, whereas the shaded side is darker, a desaturated violet, and it's cool. So we have multiple contrasts of hue, value, saturation, temperature, and complements. And you need all these contrasts to make a scene look like a sunny day. A sunny day results in a lot of reflected light, so you should look for it. Here you can see that light reflects off the blue towel onto her leg, making this part blue over here, and parts of her arm are also blue. So she has light and shade contrasts. She has a shadow. She has some highlights here, and the saturated blue on the towel. Now the blue actually makes a difference. Here I eliminated the blue, and you can see that this image looks less like sunlight than this first image. Why do these flowers appear to be so bright? Well, it has largely to do with the background, which is dark, desaturated, and cool colors of blue and green, whereas the flowers are a bright, light yellow-orange. This provides contrasts in values, saturation, and temperature. The spikes have soft edges as light bends around and through them, making them look translucent. And the yellow-orange is intensified by the analogous warm sunlight. Look at the values in the shade. They aren't very dark, and that keeps the image high key. While having dark cast shadows certainly indicates intense light, lighter shadows suggest that the flowers are bathed in light. To show the colors of sunset on objects, you can see that this log is yellow-orange, light, and warm, and it's against a sand that's blue-gray, dark, dull, and cool. Color temperature and saturation are relative, whereas we can measure value contrasts. Green and violet can be either warm or cool depending on their surroundings. This picture is composed mainly of blues and greens, but it has enough temperature contrasts to suggest sunlight. So find the bluest areas because they will be the coolest. So there are 3 areas that I've outlined here that are cool. And the greenish areas around them then must be warmer because they're less blue. So even though there's little change in colors or saturation, this picture looks sunlit due to temperature contrasts. So this table summarizes what you see with direct light like a sunny day or indirect light like an overcast day. And what I want to stress is that you have to have all of these features together. So everybody will draw the blue sky and the shadows. What many people miss is that they don't have bright saturated colors. And without that, it doesn't look like a sunny day. And all these features have to be present on a cloudy day. Now, the associations that you have with direct sun are listed here. And I've already talked about highlights and reflected light in previous videos. So in the next 2 videos, I'm going to talk about sunbeams and dappled light. My next video will be about sunbeams. And please check out my book, Ellen's Guide to Color, Light, and Shading, where on Amazon the Kindle is only $5. And also subscribe to the videos. Thanks.